Oh yes, legends. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing absolutely great. You had a fantastic weekend. It is time to take a look at Bitcoin right now because it's not looking too great. Are we going to get the breakdown? Will we maintain this zone as support? Make sure to destroy the like button, guys, if you do enjoy the content. If you don't, you can dislike or not like at all. Let's go right away and say hello. All right, enough playing around, guys. Let's try and make this serious and professional. Bitcoin. Let's say hello, first of all, to the beautiful community, okay? See how everybody's doing. Who's shorting? Who's longing? Tron Music. El Professor Andy, how are you feeling today? I'm feeling absolutely wonderful. Thank you for asking, Staffer One. Much love to you, brother. Hope that you can see me, you can hear me. Everything seems good with the connection, microphone. Slap the like button, legends. He says, much love to you, Staffer. Daniel Singleton, afternoon, my man. Like. Jackie Wood, mother here, always giving love and support. Afternoon, coach. Jose or Joes, how are you doing, my man? Much love. It simply doesn't sound right. When kid says it. Hi Andy, Sunshine, much love. Crypto Dog, Crash Wave 3, is it happening tonight? Yeah, this is something that we need to talk about. Very good analysis by your end, by the way. It's something that, of course, we take into consideration, right? I can see you coming here because if this is bearish momentum, where you have your big first leg to the downside, you have your corrective structure. I mean, we've been going through too many bullish scenarios here, and it doesn't look that good. We're giving a little bit of hope for the bulls, that is for sure. But in simple terms, we formed a bear flag. Big, strong impulse, very choppy, wavy to the upside, 3-waver, swing failure pattern from the local range highs, and now moving to the downside, breaking trend, right? You can just do some simple drawing here. Even a 5-year-old would say this chart doesn't look good, right? If you had a son, daughter, daddy, this chart is going to move down. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look bullish, right? Even a 5-year-old could tell you that. So your take here on wave 3, right? Of course, if this is your corrective structure, that's your wave 1. Are we developing wave 3 where you got your impulse to the downside, your corrective move, and we're just going to roll down very aggressively, right? Entering in your wave 3, right? Of your internal wave 3, 4 and 5, right? To the downside. This is something that we need to discuss, right? It's kind of, we're at one of those levels where you kind of want to give up, right? The bulls just want to give up, give priority to the bears and say, okay, you win, right? You win. The bears win, okay? Right, it's kind of that feeling because you're just at the value area low of the entire range since July, which has been getting supported 1, 2, 3, 4 times right now, right? You got wicks throughout the last few weeks in October. Bang, 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 bang. Oof, it's kind of getting weak, guys. It's getting weak. And of course, you got this valley area, right? It kind of feels that it wants to dip down, break down already. You know, we're talking about a move of $10,000 that could be pretty ferocious and aggressive, just like the one we had on the 10th of October, right? Similar size, a little bit less, but it's definitely possible, right? Let's leave it that way. I don't want to give any fear here. There are some long opportunities. Devil talked about an insane, great scalp long today. All right, inside of the Legends Pro community. He actually called it to the T. Shout out to Devil if he is around inside of the pro community. Talking about a nice little scalp long trade, actually, you know, predicting the internal movement. So there are longs and shorts to be taken, right? Throughout, you know, regardless if the market is bullish or bearish on the higher time frame internally, there's some really epic, nice setups, right? Even longs in a bearish move down eventually in this consolidation inside of the pro community. Devil was actually pointing out this is a clear sign of reversal. You're kind of bottoming out here. As you can see, you've got a big movement to the downside just for educational purposes. You got the movement down here. You're kind of rounding off. You're getting the choppiness. That's the moment where you're looking for that spike up to sweep up some lower highs. And Devil predicted an exact entry, very, very nice, inside of the pro community, of course, right, where we do have the analysis. This is exactly what happened. We claimed those lows and we came up and we pumped about $1,500 or give us take. It's a day trade, which happened very, very nicely today, right? Giving a little bit of details, looking at the waves, the scenarios. So shout out to Devil inside of the pro community. He is an awesome coach, provides very, very good analysis and possible setups where we can see some hidden trades. And that was the hidden trade of today, right over here. Sweep the lows, come to the highs, and obviously, look for the momentum to continue to the downside. So we'll be talking about a little bit of higher time frame, a little bit of lower time frame, 1 hourly, 15 minutes. We get the levels, get the scenarios. Did a video update today. Yesterday, I mean, come on, I could not hide this, guys, right? I don't want to be that guy that talks about something yesterday and suddenly forgets about it if it's done the absolute opposite. It hasn't done the opposite, but we didn't get the movement up, right? I was looking for a little bit of an attempt of a breakout, right? And my goodness, what can we say? Was this the attempt on Sunday? I would have preferred a little bit of a squeeze up here, right? And then say, wow, that looks weak. That does look weak. If you do attempt to break the point of control, which we did, however, it was just such a small movement that I like to see, that movement actually getting that pop out and then short stop loss, aim for the lows of the range, value area low, basically as a TP1 where we're currently dancing at the moment. So it was a good short. Yesterday we talked about shorts, we talk about longs. The short idea was actually attempting to break out and then losing the point of control to get into the trigger, right? We ended up forming a very shallow double top here, which, I mean, yeah, it's a setup. At the end of the day, double top, swing failure pattern, it is a setup. I would have preferred the price to move a little bit higher and then, be in that short stop loss, target the lows of the range and leave some open just in case we break down. But that's that. We're going to have to talk about new setups because there are opportunities every single day, right? We don't need to get pissed off of missing a trade because there's another trade around the corner. So what we do here is we plan for it, we get some stuff ready, and then let's see if the price does come to us, right? Because that's what we want. We want the price to come to us, to come to our levels. Regardless, for a short, we're going to get a short plan ready, we're going to get a long plan ready, and let's see if it comes to fruition in the next 24 to 48 hours, right? That's what we like to do here on the channel, getting our levels, getting our waves, getting our confluence all together, and let's see if we can execute that next successful trade, all right? So, quick comment section here, all right? Smashing up that like button as you do, legends, all right? Much love to everybody. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. And Aditya, my man, Staffer One, moderators giving love and power here. At what price will Bitcoin rebound? We are going to talk about no long swing trade zone for me. The government needs to open up, not enough liquidity in the system. That is an interesting take for sure. Okay, that is definitely an interesting take. But you can do, swing longs, you're right. Day trade longs. We had a nice day trade long today provided by Devilt. Just a nice, looking at $1,500 of a move, right? Very, very nice, nicely executed. This is exactly what the price did. It actually rolled over from here, tested the lows, and then back up. Giving the chance also to look for a short trade here in this 108.3K zone, right? Which is, literally what is kind of happening here, right? Just missed it by it literally got to 108.3 depending on what exchange you're looking at. So yeah, but regarding swing longs, we are at a crucial point here, right? The bullish case scenario is still there, but wow, it's like running out. We're running out of probabilities. But the market likes to do that sometimes, right? run out of probabilities. Oh, it's looking bearish. It's about to roll over. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, you get the magic reclaim of point of control. And it's like, holy smokes, you know, we recovered out of nowhere. I have to say, this is not the best level to consider swing long. You would have to look for liquidity grabs. At the end of the day, it's a liquidity game. If we were to come down to 106K, which is a level that I mentioned in today's video update, it's a matter of being patient, okay? It's a matter of being patient here. Can this level hold if we come down and test it? I want to see the price move down to this level to even consider that potential day trade long that can convert into a swing long. It can actually rebound pretty strongly, right, and reclaim the point of control of the range. And if it does do that, we'll look no further, right? We're looking at the top of the value area high. So it can be a move of almost $10,000. But the way I would want to execute this long is first calm down. First calm down. You know, speculating here on a swing position at this moment, it becomes high risk, right? Let's just say high risk. Where are you putting your stop loss? Do you have any stop loss? Right? Is your plan? What is your plan? Right? For me, I would love to see that liquidity grab, because I can see on the data that there is a lot of liquidity below 106K, right? We can see it on the charts, guys. Can you see it? Right? We can see that there is some significant liquidity down there. And when we zoom out, right, on the 30 days, there's quite a bit of a chunk there. This big spike of liquidity, we are building short liquidations, so I do expect the price to come up there at some point, right? Regardless with a successful breakdown or not. But I think the best swing long attempt, day trade long first of all, would be sweeping the absolute lows here, except for that low, just so we form a higher low here in this area. That would be the ideal zone for me, guys. So I do have alert set. It's my level of interest. It would be down here at this area, okay? Because we do see that liquidity, that big pack of liquidity is sitting here below this first higher low that we had from the lows of the 17th of September. And we know how these higher time frame higher lows from the month of October and lower highs, right? Lower high right there, 116K, liquidity grab, roll over. You got this higher low that got a pretty good reaction on Thursday, last Thursday, right? Nice higher low. You got the reaction. It got a nice bounce of a few $1,000s, right? Of course, point of control always has to be your take profit, right? You cannot deny that. If you're long in here in a range, right? Lows and highs of a range, point of control becomes your TP or your short or your long if you're above it, right? It's just, you can see how this has been a major brick, right? That the price has struggled very much to get above. So yeah, swing failure pattern. Moving up to the point of control, that gave you a nice, you know, day trade till Friday. They got all the way up here to 110.9K, so 111K basically. So what are the scenarios here, right? Let me just, you know, trading for me is a matter of being, you know, patient, right? For everybody, you know, you're patient. If you're not too sure about the price bouncing out a certain zone, unless you're scalping and you're looking for intraday setups, because this is the kind of long that you would leave a little bit open, right? Devil pointed out this long position inside of the pro community. And why not leave some open just in case that maybe this has been the end of the move down, right? Take most of the profits, okay, there's no doubt, 60-70%, but leave a chunk open because it might just reverse from here, right? When you're at the lows of a range, yeah, it looks bearish and it looks miserable and it looks like it just, you know, you got the low, you know, doesn't look that strong, right? It doesn't look that strong. It looks like it's just a matter of a little bit of time that it's going to, you know, lose the level at the end of the day, right? So yeah, looking for shorts down here is unless you're getting into the bouncers. We'll go through the lower time frame, and let's analyze a little bit of the local time frame, because we could have a little bit of a local impulse here from this high. There's no doubt that we have a 3-wave move up here, and then a 1, 2, 3. How we've had 4 and 5, or are we going to form the 4 and 5 here, which could bring us that bounce, liquidity grab, and get a nice bounce of a few $1,000s. Yeah, we're going to build something here together. We are going to build something together. We're going to build a strategy. We're going to build a setup that could play, in the next coming hours. We'll look for shorts as well eventually, as shorts are looking attractive, but we need a bigger bounce. Okay, we need a little bit of a bigger relief rally in this zone. So shall we do higher time frame, or shall we just stick to the 1 hour 15-minute time frame, guys, and go to the get to the meat and potatoes here, where we want the action, right? Because higher time frame, I'll tell you what, an interesting zone that I mentioned in today's video update is this one right over here. I mean, my goodness, this is like the sweet spot. It is. I mean, this zone is like really, really interesting for the price to hold, right? Between 98 and 94k, give or take. It's a big 4,000 range, but I think this price, this zone could definitely provide that really good support if we were to come down there in the next coming days. If it were to come down there, right? It might just bounce from here, right? And surprise, surprise, we are not going down. Okay, I think there's a lot of people that are expecting eventually that breakdown, but I don't blame them. The price action doesn't look good at all. If we want to consider something bullish from this low, my goodness, this leg up and this down, or this leg up here and this the correction, and expect the price to rally, it's like low probability at this point, guys, right? I have to say, it is not looking too great for a recovery here when we consider Elliott wave theory. It just doesn't, right? However, I've seen it before. Oh, it looks bad. It looks bad. It's going to break down. You get all the bearishness, and the bullish case scenario kind of comes to fruition in the end. So what is the bullish case scenario? Well, apart from that inverted head and shoulder that we were just talking about, this for entertainment purposes, guys, there's no need for this to play out. When we consider Elliott wave theory, which is more powerful, it has higher probability that this is an impulse and this is a correction. Okay, when you do take a look at Elliott wave theory of the basics, when you take a look at this movement to the downside, guys, look no further, right? It's kind of textbook. First leg down, the bounce, big breakdown in your wave 3, bounce, wave 5, A, B, C, or WXY in this case fits better, to come to the 4th wave. You look at this chart, and now look at this one. Eventually, I've only got an uptrend, but regardless, it doesn't matter. You need to invert it. 5 wave to the upside, with your 3rd wave being the longest wave. A, B, C. C wave likes to get to the 4th wave and then possibly bounce. It's, when you take a look at this on the downtrend rejection from all-time high, look no further. It's exactly that, coming all the way up to the 4th wave and rejecting from there to just continue the downtrend momentum. So we always cover bullish scenarios, right? Because we have to, as technical analysts and traders. We look for opportunities, regardless if higher time frame looks a little bit more bearish. We look for setups, and that's what we do, right? Regardless, it looks a little bit more bearish with the price action that we formed throughout the last couple of weeks, especially with this leg down, 3 wave up. The only bullish case scenario, considering Elliott wave theory, that has low probability at this moment in time is an expanding diagonal to the upside here, which, my God, this looks absolutely horrendous. I kind of feel bad by just putting this on the chart, guys, you know, because it looks ridiculous. It seriously does. It looks bad. It just doesn't fit nicely. Expanding diagonals are rare motive waves, like rare, like 1, 2 out of 100 times. And then, you know, for the bullish case, because you claim this higher low, you have to fit some kind of a flat. And if you are extending, looking for a bullish case, I mean, that would be your higher low here. This would be your higher low. And hey, off we go, right? Off we go. Maybe. This would be your wave 1, ABC flat in your wave 2. Could it be the low? When we consider Bybit, we are just holding by a thread that higher low support, right? I mean, it is doing something, right? It is doing something because we are getting a reaction today. It's bounced $1,000. It's doing something. This trend line is doing something when we consider the futures exchanges, right? It's doing something. It got a couple of bounces. So yeah, I mean, you get the deal here, right? You get the deal. It could bounce. Let's leave it that way. Is it a great long? It's unless you're getting into the lower time frames, as Devil explained, because there is a scenario where, yeah, you have your wave 1, wave 2, and then you have your wave 3 here. Sorry, your wave 2, your wave 3. Boom, boom, boom. You got your 4 and 5 in this little zone. I mean, preferably your 4th wave is a little bit longer and actually then takes out the low. Then you got a more symmetrical 5-wave move to the downside. We're going to talk about that right away because this would have to be your shorting zone, local double top. If it does get up there, it needs to reject. It needs, you know, we're literally looking at the 382 50% Fibonacci to roll over here. 382 was tapped just a couple of hours ago. We got the rejection from the 382. When you consider this a wave 1, 2, 3, 4th, 382 is a common target to reject for a 4th wave to then claim the low. 50% Fibonacci is also one. So 50% Fibonacci, we got a little bit of an order block, okay, on the 15-minute time frame, which is this one right over here, just at 50% Fibonacci here. So could it stretch its legs to the 50%? You know, you're either looking for a double top here. That would be ideal. If you form a lower high, then it is kind of what it is. Or I really like to kind of catch the rejection, right? And then look for the rollover. So maybe this was the high. I would consider a double top. If it forms a lower high from here, then that was it. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what. You know, it does look like there's a good chance that we're going to claim this low because we came down in a 3-wave structure here. It looks very, very 3-wavy, right? As you can see from this pivot. So it does look interesting to claim that low again here at 106.7. So rejection points that we have here to continue the downtrend is the 382 or the 50% Fibonacci. I don't want to, you know, kind of jump into a short when it's already moved down, you know, give or take $500-600. I would remain patient to see if you claim those highs. Look for another top here. Right, SFP is the scenario. This is like very local. We're probably going to see this in the next coming, you know, 30 minutes or so. If you break above the 382, your 50% Fibonacci at 108.7k is your last chance to consider this, you know, an impulsive move down. Right, you're looking for your wave 5. If the price were to rally from here, then I would say that your 5th wave is in here. In this little consolidation, which is not common, right? This, you had a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and inside this zone you have a 4th wave in a flat and then 5. A bit too quick A little bit too quick compared to your wave 2. But it would have to be possible, right? Because, you know, and this is why where you want to catch the long safely, as Devil provided in the pro community today. Shout out to Devil, my man. This was an epic good entry for the long. Just here underneath the lows, you got the swing failure pattern locally here, and then we rallied to 108k, right? Nice little move of just over $1,000 for the day trade, but it's kind of worth leaving 20-30% open just in case, right? You know, you're giving a chance for the bulls because nobody wants to long in this area, right? You know, well, maybe people are longing, but they're longing late. And nobody wants to long late as well, at least myself. So when nobody wants to long and a lot of people are bearish, you have that chance that, you know, the price might just recover, and then it's very difficult to long somewhere here, and it just kind of gets above the 111 and 112k, and everybody's like, wow, what the heck happened? Well, that's when you would have to label the low being in here on Thursday at 106.3k. I don't think that's the case, guys. Okay, we're talking about a bullish case here randomly when the price is looking so bearish, right, and rolling over throughout the last few days, even few weeks. October ended up in the red in the end, right? It did end up red. November's even red now, right? We've only been a few days in, but right, it's looking a bit dumpy. Support levels are running out. Bullish scenarios are running out. We're kind of getting a bit of hopium here for the bullish case because, you know, we would have to label this as a wave 1, right? Right over there. Let's see if I get my drawing right. And this an ABC flat. Expanding flat because it is hitting the 1.618 extension. And the 1.618 extension is actually the one that's getting the bounce today. It's holding. So unless you're catching these local double bottoms as Devil provided today in the pro community to leave some open just to give hope to the bullish case, I would not long here. I would rather look for shorts, guys, eventually, considering the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got a little bit of a bounce. You know, I look for the lows. You know, bullish scenario is really, you're kind of pushing it. When you're pushing the bullish cases, which looks like it has low probability, you kind of need to accept that it's probably likely not going to happen, right? So what is interesting, I mean, the 382, that's the level. If you did not catch the 382 Fibonacci from this pivot to this pivot low, which is the 1, 2, 3, fourth wave, one of the targets is 382, 50% is the ultimate target for the fourth wave. Then you're looking for the lows to be claimed. 382 is touched, it got rejected, a few $100s. Do you want to enter now? Your hard invalidation is the golden pocket, but when you're entering down here, the reward is not that great. You need to catch the 382 or the 50%. Stop loss at the highs, right, on the rejection. Same scenario on the 50%. It's just not worth it, right? For me, just even a $300-400 move when we're day trading or scalping, if I did not get in at the 382, I'm not entering here. Even though it's like, hey, we just $400 away. You know, why not take it if it is highly likely that we claim that low? I don't want to risk it. You know, I don't want to risk a big stop loss. I want to get in on the 382. I want to put stop loss above the high. I want to move down. I can, you know, lower a little bit the risk. If you take out the highs, I'll wait for I'll get stopped out and I'll wait for the double top or wait for the 50% Fibonacci and just be waiting for that 50% to be hit and rejected so I can trigger the short position to come down to the lows, which is the TP zone. Here, I don't want to short, right? You just say we missed that. So the thing is, this is the beauty, right, of really having experience in technical analysis and saying, you know, I couldn't care less if I missed, you know, this trade. I missed the short position here yesterday. I wanted to see this and then this, and I would have shorted here, stop loss here, and target the lows, right? Doesn't matter. It was a shallow move up, double top. You know, I understand it was resistance. It was the point of control. We talked about this yesterday. I was hoping for that breakout, fake out attempt, right? Entering into Monday, which didn't happen. Well, it did, but it was just too small. A little bit of a double top right there. So it doesn't matter, right? You know, a good trader misses trades all the time. All the time. You don't rush into trades, right? It's just, it's part of the game. Market's going to test your patience. It's going to test your patience every single day. You know, every single day it's going to test your patience. And you know, but if you are a good trader, you're going to miss a lot of trades, not lose. You're going to miss a lot of trades if you are a good trader, because you're going to have that patience. You're saying, okay, well, if I miss the short here at the 382 Fibonacci, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What happens after a fifth wave, right? Let's just wait here and say, if I'm missing the short, and we have a potential 5-wave structure here, because on that bounce from Thursday, we do have a 3-wave move up. It's always nice to get that third wave a little bit higher in case of a C wave, right? Usually you want to get it a bit above the A wave, not form a double top, but it's a 3-wave move regardless. You did take out the highs. It's a 1, 2, 3. So now what you're looking at is you know, possibly a 5-wave move to the downside. The overall question, and I don't know, guys, I don't know. What if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and your fourth and fifth is already in here? And this is a flat, as mentioned, impulse, and you're going to reverse here in between today and tomorrow. I would say low probability. Why is that? Because your fourth wave and fifth wave, if it has to be labeled inside of this zone, yeah, it kind of looks better for this to be the fourth wave and then the fifth wave, right? Let's be honest. It just looks, it fits better on the chart. And if it fits better, it means it very much likely will be that, right? So when you form a fifth wave, what usually happens, you usually get some kind of a reversal bounce. And most commonly, you like to get above the fourth wave, right? That's been explained with this simple chart right over here. Matter of fact, it's the movement down that we had looking at the higher time frame, right? Looking at the higher time frame, you might just say, well, yeah, this is literally what happened here when we take into consideration this movement. After a big leg down, when you get your fourth wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your fifth wave doesn't usually break down much below the third wave, right? Give or take on the higher time frame, it might be a few $1,000s, but on the lower time frame, it might be maybe 500, maybe 1,000, right? That's what we're going to try and detect here. That's where we could be getting the fifth wave down to this liquidity zone. And after a fifth wave, we're looking for a bounce, right? And we could probably be in this bounce to come all the way up to the fourth wave. So when we do zoom in and we do analyze the internal Picasso drawing here, okay, I get where, you know, I know where you're coming from here. You got that 3-wave move up, potentially 1, 2, 3. You got a pretty aggressive move down here Monday. It is a 3.5K move down. You know, a big move. It's a relatively biggish move, right? Just to open up Monday. You know, it's got a little bit of a dumpy action here. So wave 4 and wave 5, interesting. It can be the case where then you get the relief rally to sweep up the highs. It very much likely be a lower high here, and then we rolled over, right? If this is an impulse, we could look for shorts, we could look for longs. Now is when we go, you know, into the rabbit hole and say, well, where can this fifth wave go, right? What would be a good target for this fifth wave? And I have to say, not only this low that we had on last Thursday, yes, of course it can get the bounce there, right? It can just be that swing failure pattern from that low. But as explained, I would prefer, and the market doesn't need to give me what I prefer. The market doesn't give a crap, right? The market doesn't give a shit about what I prefer. However, with the data, I do know that there is lots of liquidity below 106K. And we might as well just finish the job here. We might as well just finish the job and claim those long liquidations. What happens when you claim those long liquidations? You know, you are looking for a very likely an instant reaction bounce, right? Which is what creates the swing failure patterns. When you sweep a major higher low, what happens? You sweep the low and you stop the people that are out here, right? Hiding their stop losses beneath this higher low. And you obviously look for that relief rally. In this case, getting resistance at the point of control of the entire range here, right? I had to zoom out a little bit, guys, so you can see that point of control right there. So yeah. In a nutshell, I prefer this higher low, guys. What can I say? I actually prefer the price. Well, it's just very close to this one. It's just a few $100s away. Get below 106K. It might dip to 105.7, 5.5. It doesn't really matter. You're literally looking for a recovery beneath that low. So it is a setup, guys, right? It's a setup. Will the price just break down from here? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Do you know? Let me know in the comment section. You might know. I don't know. If you say that you know, then I know you're lying, because you really don't. I don't know. I know it's a good zone. I know it's a good reactionary level. That's the bunch of liquidity sitting down there. This is an internal day trade. I'm actually expecting, if the price does come down there, that if it does get this relief pump, it's going to roll back down later on and just form another lower high. So yeah, I would be interested in speculating on shorts after getting above this potential fourth wave, if that is the case, right? So it's a long into a short, literally. You need to swing failure pattern from that fourth wave, just like we did on the higher time frame, right? On this pump right over here. No, not that one. Yeah, this one actually. Yeah, there we go. So it's just internal setups, guys. It's intraday setups. They work. What works better is your risk management, okay? Because this level could be lost. But if we consider this being an impulse and this being a corrective three-wave structure, which it is a three-waver. It's a corrective move. And right now we are just finishing our first leg to the downside, which we could correct and ultimately later on then really form that third wave down that gets us to the low 100K levels or even below 100K, right? Market likes to test a low several times, bounce, you know, big bounces of a few $1,000s, and you're like, whoop, is this it? Is this it? It kind of looks we're very close to getting that breakdown. Let's be honest. It looks very, very solid to get the breakdown. Being bullish here is being optimistic. And yeah, we can be optimistic, but we can obviously consider the probabilities, and the probabilities with the market structure that we have developed in the last week. It's not looking good for the bulls, guys, at least here. And it does look like we want to break down beneath, you know, the lows here at 103K, and who knows how far we can go down, right? We need to wait for the price to just go to lower prices, and then once we find some support, there's the 98K level, okay, which I like very much. I think there's going to be a lot of people interested in buying Bitcoin, longing Bitcoin. I think the big whales and smart money will be very interested in longing in this zone. Longing and buying. Bitcoin below 100K, right? It seems like, wow, that's cheap. That's cheap Bitcoin. We're so used to Bitcoin being above 100K. getting below, from a 6-digit to a 5-digit is like, it's kind of cheap. It feels cheap. And there's a lot of support down there. So ultimately, this would be the interest of swing trade longs, right? That is, matter of fact, where we have the 50 weekly moving average, guys, right? I've seen this on X today, absolutely everywhere. And I thought, well, let's talk about it. Why not talk about it? You must have seen a lot of people talk about this already, and I just got it out of X because there's lots of people saying, if we lose the 50 weekly moving average and we close a weekly, it's bearish. And it's, bear market confirmation. I have to say that just losing the 50 weekly moving average, we have insane amount of support. And matter of fact, we're still very much higher low uptrend, still higher low uptrend. So I wouldn't say getting beneath the 50 weekly moving average is, you don't want to be bearish at a big support zone where the price could get an epic bounce, right? People will be so distracted by the 50 weekly moving average, getting beneath it, game over, and then ultimately reclaiming it and getting a pretty nice bounce to the upside, regardless if it's going to be a lower high or it's actually going to gain some momentum. I'm interested in longing, guys. If we price move, we long the dips here, right? We don't get fearful on the dips. If we come down to a brutal support zone, this for me is a longing area between 98 and 94k. It's a no-brainer for me, right? So yeah, you can give me your thoughts down below in the description, in the comment section. In the description, you got some awesome links that you can sign up to. BTCC, you got $10,000 deposit bonus, which is just airdrops on rewards to increase your capital. You can trade stocks here, S&P 500, gold, guys. $10,000 in deposit bonuses. The more you trade and more volume, you'll be getting airdrops throughout the next coming weeks, okay? It just works automatic. 15% cashback to increase your capital also from your deposit on Bluffing, guys. Take advantage of those bonuses down below, okay? First link for Bluffing, BTC, the second link. You just need an email and a password. Let's go through the comment section right away and discuss the different scenarios. I think the most attractive long position, apart from the one that Devil provided today, which was a day trade scalp long, is down here, guys. We can attempt it. I am going to attempt it if I'm awake and have some alerts. I will attempt it, and it's super easy and simple to understand. If you are trading beneath the 106k level, you do not get into a long trade. You need to get the recover. If you want to attempt the falling knife catch and catch the extreme low of the swing failure pattern, just be aware, go small, because it could break down. And we're heading below 103k, right? We do not know if the third wave is getting developed. We are speculating here that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What if, what if the third wave is not even in yet and the volume starts increasing on the breakdown? Maybe we're going to say this is 1, 2, and this is 3, and this is 4 and 5 later on. I do not know. I do not know, but I do know that the fifth wave could do this. And this is the guideline. What does the guideline do? You break it, you're not interested in the long. You fake out from it and you get back above the low. It's a possible trigger, quick recovery to the highs here. And then ultimately these are just relief pumps, right? Relief pumps till you actually get the breakdown. So yeah, that's a little bit of the longing zone that I'm interested in here. I would be very, very cautious, being aware of the breakdown. Maybe volume increases and it actually collapses. So it's a risky area to catch the low, and you need to manage risk like a beast. As mentioned, if we are trading beneath the low, and we do talk about these boxes all the time, guys. If you trade beneath the low, you do not want to be in the long, right? If you get back above, you can attempt the long. If it gets down below, you get stopped out. That's it. End of the game. You look for another trade setup, right? If it does get that relief rally. And as explained, as we do have bearish momentum, you know, hey, look no further. We can look for a short later on. If this ends up being a 5-wave move to the downside, we get the relief pump. Looking for the, you know, 50% to the golden pocket zone, just getting above that 4th wave, literally the highs of today, could be our shorting zone, right? Maybe tomorrow, if we do get that relief pump tomorrow or late tonight. And then look for the movement break down, right? So that's a little bit of what I'm looking at here. That's the only intraday zones. This intraday long only for here to take most of the profits and be interested in a possible short trade in this area. If you move that 3-wave move up, you sweep up the highs, it could just be that internal wave 2, right? Wave 1, wave 2. This is your 1 and 2 of your 3rd wave, right? So you literally, all of this is your 3rd wave, but you just have your 1st wave getting developed. That would be the idea of this scenario. Okay, so muy importante. Es muy importante. Man, getting a bounce from here is, in the bullish case, is very optimistic. I'm not counting on it, guys. I'm not counting on it. If the price were to bounce here magically, you know, I'm not interested in the long in this area. You know, at least we need to get a wick down below 106k, and I will attempt the long. Whoever shorted the 382 based on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then that's a good one, right? We are downtrending, so it is in your interest to try and short the bounces. However, we didn't have much. You know, you need to really go with Fibonacci here, because, you know, if you're thinking about a short here, you don't have major levels. You don't have a point of, you know, you don't have any naked point of control. There's a big gap. It's very, very hard for people to short a shallow bounce as well. But that's when you get Elliott wave theory into play. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Big move down. We are downtrending. Shallow bounce. If this is a 4th wave, where does the 4th waves usually retrace to and reject? The 382. If it's not the 382, you're looking at 50% Fibonacci from your wave 2 to the end of your wave 3. 382 is the one that got rejected. If that's not the one, then you're looking at this one. You don't want to hit the golden pocket. You want to stay out of the position if you do get it all the way up there, right? So, you know, we just packing the education as well here on how to read the momentum and the waves using Fibonacci. And nothing else that I could say. You know, if the price with a miracle suddenly bounces from here, guys, and it smashes through all of those fib levels for the wave 4, which I, you know, believe it's not going to be the case. There was actually lots of longs entering here throughout this range. There's been a few, there's actually been shorts entering. We've got some longs here, but throughout this range, I mean, come on, Bybit has been absolutely ridiculous. Look at the longs here, massive longs entering here in this range. So people are anticipating, they're just getting wicked out here. Lots of longs in this bottom formation. Devil is an absolute machine in the pro community. He actually speculated on the long position here. So shout out to him, because he was patiently waiting on this scenario. Eventually, he talks about a few scenarios, like I do as well. Tomorrow, I'm updating the pro community. We've split the days so we can have more time for each other, and I'm doing the updates tomorrow. But we do very, very similar analysis and looking for setups. And my goodness, this is, you know, look at this. I mean, this is literally what is happening. Shout out to you, Devil, predicting the waves here on the 5-minute time frame. Is Devil around or not? Because he does jump in on the stream sometimes. My goodness, this is like next level accurate. We moved down, swept 106.9k, got the bounce to the 382, and rejected from here to form this 5th wave now. I mean, this is like if you wait patiently on the, on the analysis and the levels, man, shout out to this, to Devil, because this is like literally predicting these 2 waves. Well, a 3rd wave, because he's predicting a 5th wave down as well, right? Staffer One, you know what I'm talking about here. Man, Devil, absolute machine. Shout out to Devil. We are moving down to the lows right now. Here we go, guys. There we go. We're coming down. Let's see. It's breaking down. I was too distracted here. Oh boy. Oh boy. We got volume increasing here, guys. This is not a good sign. First of all, this is not a good sign if you get volume increasing on the movement down. Oof. Not good, guys. Not good. I know we mentioned about this swing failure pattern at this zone, but I have to say, if volume increases, it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign if volume increases here. So, it's breaking down, legends. With increasing volume, we just barely touched here. Hopefully we do get a bit more of a movement down. But I'm skeptical right now because you want to see the highest amount of volume here, literally. It's not looking good, guys. I'm not longing right now. Eventually we're beneath the level. But you look at the volume. Volume is increasing to the downside. Let's check a few exchanges here on this breakdown. Whoever shorted the 382, I haven't checked the legends. Maybe some of the legends got into the short here at the 382 Fibonacci, just like Devil mentioned. Absolute beast. We got increasing volume on the breakdown, guys. This is not good. We're probably inside of a wave 3. We are currently trading below the 106k level. Red alert, guys. Volume is increasing in a wave 5. You want to see volume decreasing on the breakdown. Red alert here, guys. It looks like we want to go to lower levels. It is an aggressive, I would say it's an aggressive SFP of that low. Oh my goodness, we are trading beneath it. We claim the liquidity. We don't like 5th waves ending with high amount of volume. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. This could be still the 3rd wave getting developed. That's the red alert, red sign. We do still have liquidity to the downside when we zoom out. Let's refresh these liquidity heat maps. Looks like, yeah, volume is increasing, guys. So I do not expect a swing failure pattern. I do expect the price to continue the momentum to the downside. No longs here, guys. No longs. We're losing the level with increasing volume. Danger zone. Danger zone. Muy peligroso. Muy peligroso. Muy peligroso. What do you mean no data? Just about. We got a bit more right there. We're just about sweeping all of that high spikes of liquidity. Let's take a look at the order flow. If we do see a lot of shorts entering the market here, we do have 17 million shorts entering here on this movement down. Lots of millions down here. So could they get trapped? Can they get trapped? Let's take a look at the liquidity, because most of that liquidity is getting swept right now. Man, oh man, what's going on with this? Give me a break. Let's see if this wants to load here, legends. Yeah, there we go. We got, you know, most of that liquidity, the big cluster of liquidity has been swept, but we are trading below that low over here. This is like danger zone. I'm not interested here in longing with increased volume on the breakdown. Muy peligroso. Whoever catched, let me just check the Legends Pro community, because man, if they did catch the short at the 382, long into short, absolute legend. This is like ping pong, man. Long, short, deviled, anticipated this move today. Literally this move right over here, since we were trading here in this zone. Shout out to Devil. Let me know if Devil is around. But volume is increasing, Legends. It is not looking great. Not looking great here. A big chunk of the long liquidations have been swept already, so got more longs entering here. Oh, a relief pump could happen. A relief pump could happen. A reclaim of that higher low could be interesting, even though there is a little bit of increased volume to claim that lower high of today, maybe between today and tomorrow. But this would be the target zone if you do reclaim. But we have increasing volume, guys. This is like not an easy one. If we would have had a lower volume, I would say, guys, as soon as we get above this pivot low, because we have swept that liquidity, as soon as we get above this zone, you know, I'm considering the long, at least to this lower high of today. And maybe look, you know, that would be a good area to consider shorts again, right, to ultimately get the breakdown. But man, it's not making it easy here. Who's going to be the brave of longing on the reclaim of that higher low? It is getting a little bit of a bounce now, I have to say. Fifth waves can finish with slight increased volume, but it's not the ideal. It's not the ideal. It's very, very classic right now to actually form a local double bottom, if that were to be the case. You know, if you're not recovering from here, as this is the highest amount of volume, you just need to be aware of maybe the double bottom here locally, and then ultimately recovering. Could recover from here. What I don't like is the increased amount of volume. You're getting a pretty decent pump here from those lows. Pretty interesting relief rally. It's for the aggressive guys. It is for the aggressive traders out there. When you do get increased volume, we've swept a few $100 million long liquidations. The relief rally is already of a few $100. You know, it is a bit agresivo. It's a bit agresivo, as explained. You could be forming a little mini wave 4 here also, sweep up the lows again, and then maybe you stop the people out, and then you get the relief. You know, local double bottom is a possibility as well, just because this has been the biggest move down here. So I'll take it into consideration. Let's take a look here at the comment section, see what the people are saying. Much love to everybody. Never use leverage on these things. Absolutely. Why not? Why not? You can use leverage. What you need to use is very good risk management. That's what you need. Okay? If you have risk management, you can use, man, you can risk $10 on a trade, 20, 50, depending on how much money you have, right? If you use it responsibly, reports are out. This is temporary. Botmation, much love to you, my man. Thanks for the 10 British pound. Great British pounds. Yeah, someone's saying here, don't use leverage. What you don't need to use is irresponsible risk. Okay, that's what you need. I lost 40% on the 10th. Yeah, I would say that I lost, counting the spot portfolio with my stop loss, maybe about 5%. I do hold most in Bitcoin and Ethereum, but yeah, a lot of people got hurt on the 10th of October, guys. It was inevitable that a lot of people were going to get hurt on that major liquidation event. Okay, everybody got hurt here. Everybody. Altcoins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, spot bags, leverage trades, whoever got into leverage trades on altcoins with no stop loss using cross margin, they're the ones that got wrecked on the 10th of October. I got stopped out. I shared the next day my ICP long position of $15,000. Stopped out. You know, I was happy with that being lost. I was aware of getting stopped out. But, I mean, that's a scratch. But whoever was getting into longing everything October, guys, be careful with these narratives, right? This October thing, when, you know, Bitcoin's pumped to all-time highs, altcoins next. We were aware about the flat. We were aware about sweeping up 107K. We do not want to go against the possibilities, right, of forming a flat, right, or, you know, in getting a move down here very aggressively. So yeah, I mean, whoever traded irresponsibly here, guys, oh my goodness. My portfolio was down, but I'm happy with that. I've been in crypto since 2018. I see it up and down every week. So I couldn't give a damn. At the end of the day, long term, Bitcoin, Ethereum goes up, but altcoins haven't been too good this crypto bull run. And then a stop loss on one trade on ICP. But yeah, I mean, whoever traded irresponsibly here, which I can tell you, there was people taking their own lives, guys. There were actually, the day after this, people committed suicide. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that here, but maybe the video, the live stream will get cancelled tomorrow if we go too much into detail. But yeah, this was bad, guys. You know, people destroyed, losing. Like someone said in the comment section, 40%. ICP looks strong right now. What do you think, Andy? Yeah, I did see someone commenting on the ICP bounce. Let's go through ICP because, well, it got a pretty nice relief rally, but I have to say, this is still a lower high. You got a bounce here, correction, and another bounce. If we are going to dance around in the next week here and form a little bit of a channel-y situation, then I would say, yeah, maybe a 1-2-1-2 ultimate recovery into November. Let's see if we channel out here. If we channel out, I would say that it's going to look very good. I mean, it really depends on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has the risk of going below 100K. I would expect major pullbacks again on altcoins, right? So yeah, we want to be a little bit cautious. It really needs to chop around, and we need to see a solid wedgie, three-wavy, overlappy structure here to consider that, you know, we could get a movement up. which I do think could form, right? I do think it can form, but we're going to have to be patient in that case. There was actually an interesting short here today. I mean, look at this. This is like, man, this is actually pretty nice to see. From the low here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-wave move up. And here, 5-wave move to the downside. A bit in a contracting hang on a minute. I'm not sure if it would be valid. Oof, ever so slightly contracting here. Diagonal in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC flat bounce. Range point of control resistance. This was interesting for shorts. At least for an ABC or a 1, 2, 3, right? This is actually not bad shorting zone here early this morning. A few hours ago, actually, on ICP. Kind of interesting to look at the altcoins. Would have been interesting to short down to the lows again here on ICP at $4. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait here on ICP based on can it form a corrective range in the next few days, right? Yeah, that's a little bit of the hopium. I think it could have a chance. Filling the wicks on a lot of altcoins, I think there's a lot of altcoins that will not fill this wick. Okay, ICP down at $2. There's a liquidation event. You've filled part of the wick, which is kind of enough. I would not expect, Atom on Binance hit 0. A lot of them, I would not expect them to fill the wick here and ultimately recover in the next coming week. So yeah, it could be a double 1-2 here on the formation, and we might get surprised and see some pumpy action in November. All depends on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the leader. If Bitcoin's going to be rolling over very aggressively, no bueno, guys. Muy importante. Let's say hello to the beautiful community, see what's going on. What's going on here with the community? So many Degen short traders in here. Degen shorts. Long or short, Andy? Staffer one. Yeah, Devilt has been the absolute machine today in the pro community, guys. If you are interested in the pro community, you get daily updates. That is down below. Join the community on Telegram. Okay, this one right over here, you can go directly to the website. And this is exactly what Devilt shared today. Like an absolute machine. Like an absolute machine, guys. This is what Devilt had pointed out today, okay, when we were trading in this area. This is what Devilt had pointed out today when we were here talking about a long trade to the 382 and then roll over. But literally, guys, huh? There's no sugarcoating here. Moved down, we swept the lows, the local double bottom, we got the bounce to the 382, and then we're pushing down below 106k currently right now. Chapo, very good, muy bien, Devilt, muy bien. He's not in the live. He did do a live stream before. I did see he went live today. Local double bottom could be interesting, and if we do not local double bottom, then we go to lower prices. But whoever shorted yesterday Sunday, this double top, man, at the point of control, this is dangerous area, guys. Dangerous area for the people that are hoping on longs. Okay, muy peligroso. But whoever shorted here, the point of control, or even this lower high bounce at the 382, is in a good position, taking profits, leaving some open just in case the price decides to break down a few more $1,000. So yeah, muy peligroso this area, muy peligroso. This box is peligroso. We should put this in a red peligroso color. Danger zone, danger zone. Let's go through the comment section. Say hello. Andy, what's your downside target? Chainlink, please. It looks so bad. BTC dumped. It did indeed, my man. Look at the Bitcoin dominance. What is Bitcoin dominance doing? Targets for Bitcoin, I have to say. Oh, Bitcoin dominance is getting the rally, baby. Oh my goodness. Holy smokes. Bitcoin dominance is getting the rally, guys. It's filling, that major wick after the liquidation event. It wants to fill part of that wick, or most of the wick. Bitcoin dominance just been grinding to the upside here in the last few weeks. Man. Targets for Bitcoin, as this is the danger zone, and if we don't get a relief rally here of a few $1,000s, which I would expect another lower high, actually. Let's keep it simple here, looking at Fibonacci targets. The biggest level of support, I have to say, I would be very interested in swing longs down at 96, 98k, guys. This is a no-brainer for me. The thing we're concerned about is if we do continue moving lower with increased volume. One-to-one right there is coming bit below the point of control. Like, as mentioned, between 94 and 98 is a solid zone for the price to really get a strong relief pump. This is like the bottom zone formation area. This is where I would expect the price to bottom out, and it could be the low if it were to come down there. There's just such a big support level here. Point of control, sweep up the first higher low of this major uptrend that we had since April. It is the level, right? It's the level to bounce from on the higher time frame. This is like swing long zone. So yeah, let's see. Vamos a ver, Vamos a ver. For the moment, right now, where we at? Dangerous area. This is the kind of area where it chops around and it could get that relief pump. As explained, it does make sense after the rejection yesterday at the point of control that if this is going to be your 5-wave move to the downside, which we do have here somewhere, that is going to be your first 5-waver to the downside, and this is your corrective move in a 3-wave structure. If counting the lower time frame Elliot wave theory here, we could be looking at a 5-waver here. You might get a local double bottom. But this is not an easy decision at the moment, because I'm not that interested here. If it does bounce, which it definitely can, purely based on Elliott wave theory, and that we have claimed that liquidity at the lows here, it is a bouncing zone, guys. When we consider the waves and where we hit. The problem is, without a doubt, is that you have increasing volume, which is not helping. Because on a 5th wave, you don't want to see this massive spike in volume. That's not a good sign. This definitely has potential to this is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's literally could be building up the third wave still, right? Still could be building up the third wave internally here. This is a 1-2-1-2 and you're still building up the third wave. I mean, that's the danger of having increased volume, and that's when you need to like stay grounded. We talked about the setup, but if the setup changes based on volume, you don't want to see increasing volume on a wave 5. If that is the case, you need to be very much aware that you're still developing the third wave. So you just kind of cancel the scenarios, right? If you create a plan and the price action doesn't go according to plan based on data, then you want to be aware. Yeah, you could take the shot, because at the end of the day, the structure and the waves is what leads, right? Volume is something that you implement that does help on the decisions, or not take the decision eventually based on the risk that it does take. In this case, high volume on the fifth wave, it's peligroso. Let's say it's peligroso. This is where you need to, manage risk eventually, accordingly. Let's go through the comment section, see what the people are saying. But if we do manage to break down, we do have there are some more levels. Okay, there are just below $102,000, the wick low of the futures platform. Okay, on Bybit, on Binance. Well, maybe Binance went actually slightly lower. We do know that Binance Exchange did enjoy the wick on the 10th of October on major altcoins. I think on Bitcoin it is slightly lower, but there is a naked point of control here. I would say that this is going to be a difficult long. I think we could remain patient, see proof of support, because we are breaking down higher low support on futures exchanges. It's breaking down, being bullish here and then looking for a long setup is just dangerous, guys. It's just not a zone to play around. I would say a local double bottom does have potential, very, very locally on the 5 minute. It could just sweep up that low just to finish from this corrective structure, a 1, 2, 3, 4 little 5 there, and then get the relief rally. So a local double bottom could be an option for a solid entry, right? Just because you can enter at very low levels, have a really tight stop. When it recovers, you can instantly protect. So it's something that I would consider if you do get that reaction at the local lows here, right? Oh my goodness, you got insane amount of longs here entering on Bybit. What the heck? We're going lower, guys. Man, Bybit longs at this level are going absolutely crazy. Holy smokes, what's going on? Who the heck is long in here? Man, this is not good. It's not great to see this huge amount of longs that are creating bearish CVD divergence, man. It's not good. Not good. Lower highs on price action, higher highs on CVD. You got those, almost 20 million longs entering in the last 30 minutes down here. That's not good. It doesn't help the price to get a relief anyway. Let's go through the comment section. We are over 700 people watching the stream. Let's go. Much love to everybody. Smash up the like button if you do enjoy the content. Remember that you got exclusive bonuses down below, guys. Okay. 170 likes. We are above 700 people watching the stream, and we got 170 likes. Yeah, no. This ain't gonna do it, guys. I'm gonna roll over. I'm gonna go around the table here. I'm gonna go and see my dog. Let's see if we can get to at least 300 likes, guys. Come on. We giving explanations. We're going through the comment section. Possible target areas, danger zones. Not an easy area with increasing volume. Let's smash up that like button. I'll be back in 20 seconds. Let's see if that like button gets to 300. Basta. Basta. All right, legends, let's go. I'm wrecked for the 5th time. Devil did provide some very good trading plans today in the pro community. We upload daily updates every single day. It's more educational. We look for internal setups. And today was a good internal setup day. Today was actually a good day trading zone when we consider Devil's updates. He's the one that's been providing the updates tomorrow. I need to provide the updates. He provided the updates today. I'm providing the updates tomorrow. So, man, I need to compete to this coach who's absolutely destroying the predictions here, which is doing very, very well. So shout out to Devils. I'm not sure if he's around, but if you're interested in that, guys, to join the community, daily updates, possible scenarios, community here down below. You can send me a DM. I'll give you the information or go to the website directly here, okay, to join the Legends community. Upvember. Yes, my man, James Rich. Man, what's going on, guys? What's going on with seasonality? Kind of losing hope here. November is down. How much? 3% already. Oh my goodness. Yeah, guys, this is what you get when a lot of people do expect. October's bullish. November's even more bullish. Man, I only sold 25% of my Bitcoin. You know what? If we were to move down very aggressively in a 5-wave structure throughout the next coming, give or take a few weeks, we need a very solid big breakdown. There will be a relief pump. There will be a relief pump. I'm not bearish here yet, guys. We're not bearish. We're not calling for the bear market yet. I know there's a lot of people calling for the top is in and bear market to come. 50-week moving average, which is sitting, just below at 100k basically, 102k at the moment. I can tell you already that this zone at 98, 94k is an insane level. A relief rally here. I'm going to get into a long setup here with no doubt. No doubt here. If we get to sweep these lows below 100k, these higher lows, point of control. This is a good zone. We want to see a bit of bottom formation. We want to see a bit of support. Let's go through comment section right away, legends. I have been having issues with MEXC not triggering some of my orders. Set a limit, sold short yesterday, but it didn't trigger. I'll tell you what. There's some better exchanges such as Bluffin or MEXC, okay? MEXC, not MEXC, BTCC. These are great exchanges. I have had no issues with limits, stops, take profits whatsoever, either on Bluffin or BTCC. You get 15% cashback on Bluffin, okay, to increase your capital for trading, and $10,000 in rewards on BTCC, guys. You can trade stock market on BTCC, gold using stable coins, which is absolutely awesome. Claim those bonuses, guys. You got the links down below. First one, second one. It's time to change exchange. 92k big CME still open. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Down at 92k. Do we have a CME gap down there? Oh yeah, we do. We do have one there. We do have a CME gap at 92k. That is completely correct. My goodness. You're right. There is a CME gap down there. Matter of fact, there's a CME gap all the way down at 9k. There's also one down there. And at 20k. We also got one right over here that hasn't been filled at 9k. Maybe it does fill, guys. We absolutely go into an extreme bear market, recession, You know what is interesting, man? It is those times that, you know, I'm kind of doubting, guys, that, you know, are we going to get into a bear market, right? I'm kind of in doubt of bear market, guys, coming, right? I guess that's bullish, right? If you have that sentiment, doesn't it mean that if you feel too bullish, it's bearish? And if you feel too bearish, it's bullish? I'm feeling the bearishness here. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comment section. Are you feeling... Hold on a minute. Let's just do the poll, right? Let's do the infamous poll right now. Start a poll. Current sentiment for the coming weeks, guys. Bearish. Bullish. We're just going to keep it nice and simple, guys. Get your votes in. Are you feeling very bearish or bullish? Let me know. Get your votes in. Ooh. Get your votes in, guys. Let's see what is the general sentiment, because last week we talked about claiming 103K or claiming 116K. We did a poll on this, and guess what? It was over 65% of people that were calling, all right, to come and claim. Let's get this nonsense out of the way. 1 second. Over 65% of people, I think we were trading, I'm not sure where we were trading, somewhere in this zone potentially. But last week we did do a poll saying, do we claim 103K? Or do we get to 116K? We're literally at the middle of the range. Over 65% of people said we're going to claim 116K. And yeah, just over 30% of people that voted for 103 were the right ones. So the ones that, you know, were voting here, the least voted was the one that actually came to, well, not yet. We haven't got down to 103K, but it does look like we are very much on our way. So get your votes in here, guys. I'm bearish, very bearish, man. Yeah, guys. You know, I have most of my net worth in Bitcoin, guys. Most of my net worth. Not all of it, eventually, most. I am pretty nice in cash at the moment, and you should be as well, just to stay on the defensive side. But, oh man, this is the thing. You know, we'd have to realize the impulse down, realize the bearishness, and once we have a solid, if it were to be the case, 5 wave to the downside, there will be a relief rally at some point, guys. It always happens. You always get the relief rally where we can identify if it's looking a bit corrective, guys. I'm going to exit, you know, more of my Bitcoin. So I magically, well, not magically, sold 15% of my Bitcoin holdings at 125K approximately, just slightly below 124, which was, you know, I wanted to scale out a little bit at all-time high. But I'm still holding 75% of my Bitcoin, which I'm happy about. You know, I'm happy that I sold at pretty high levels. But yeah, with the information that we get in the next couple of weeks, man, if we break down, and most importantly, we need to create a 4 and 5 wave. Okay? We need to create a 4th and a 5th. We need to have a 5 wave impulse to the downside. Then the relief is going to be the exit strategy. This happened in 2021, and that's when I exited 25% of all of my crypto except for Chainlink, which I'm still holding. But yeah, this was, I mean, I'm not counting this all-time high because this for me was kind of the top. Yeah, we got to the high again, and then, you know, this is where altcoins really popped out. But we got a solid 5-wave move to the downside. Let me zoom in on the 4-hourly time frame, okay? And it was a pretty big move down. Just to explain here, guys, because it always happens. It always happens on a larger or smaller scale. Eventually, this was a move down of $17,000. Back in the day, that was a lot. Back when we were trading at above 60K. You got your impulsive move to the downside. But, I mean, look, it's just I exited on this relief pump, okay? I exited on this relief. And look what happened here. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where does your relief pump go? To the 4th wave. Most of the times. 1, 2, 3 big move, 4 and 5 relief pump breakdown. So there will be a significant relief pump on Bitcoin if we end up in a 5-wave structure, and it's okay to exit most of your positions on the relief pump and look for shorts potentially, right? That would be the ultimate confirmation. And this actually broke structure. You were uptrending, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. 5-wave breakdown, breaking structure, relief pump, down we go. So fast forward to what we got here. Is a little bit of the same scenario. We got a first 5-wave down, but we're still considering a flat here. Maybe this is a zigzag up. We form a zigzag down, and then we pump, right? And we do not form a 5-wave move to the downside. Maybe it ends up in a 3-wave move down, which we have to consider. Flat NW, zigzag up, and wave X. Maybe it forms a zigzag down. You get below 100K, WXY, flat, zigzag, zigzag, and off we go to all-time high again. The moment I will realize that, you know, we've got a strong impulse down, guys. It's not looking great. I'm looking to exit on the relief rally is when this move is brutal. And you've got a 4th wave, claim the low again, might go to 80K. You get a relief pump. That relief pump is going to be the exit because, you know, very likely into 2026, you form that 3rd wave down. We're going to 60K, 50K. Who knows, right? Who knows? But yeah, I would easily say below 70K, even 60K in the bear market for sure. But we need that impulse. We need a strong 5-wave down on the higher time frame. We got our initial first one here, and I have to say I'm still labeling it as an ABC in a flat. We moved up in a 3-wave structure. I'm still not bearish. I'm still not calling for a bear market here till proven otherwise. Once we get the big move down and the relief pump, on the relief pump, you're still above 100K very likely. It's the moment to exit. So we're just going to have to go a little bit with the waves. Okay? Just saying. Let's go through the comment section, say hello to the... Okay. We got a bit more people today feeling more bearish as we're moving down, which is kind of what you want to see. There we go. We're probably going to get a nice relief pump, guys, in the next coming days, because this is like the signal. Sometimes the general sentiment is what really gives you the, a little bit of that feeling of, hang on a minute, there's a bit too much bearishness here. Isn't it possible? Fear and greed index, that's coming down to fear. Well, I was expecting this to be a little bit more in the red. 60%, 59%, 41% is bullish. I am bullish, just hit bearish button. I'm still in disbelief when it comes to alts. Yeah, I know. 112 liquidity cluster. 112 liquidity cluster. Yeah, look no further, without a doubt. Where's the price right now? Did it claim the lows, guys? Maybe that's... Yeah, we got the local double bottom. This is a sniper trade, guys. Sniper trade. Not sure if anybody got in, but it was an option. It was an option. Just about swept those lows. Maybe a bigger relief rally here could happen. But you really want to get in at the very, very lows. In a downtrend market, it's just not worth it. If this loses, I would say we're going much lower. But when you consider Elliott wave theory here, on today's lower high right there, when you get a big high volume move down, you're literally looking for the fifth wave. And the fifth wave is the one that can create that double bottom, right? That's why, you know, it was an option to get in on the double bottom here, right? It's already pumping $500. It just gives you those scalp entries, right? It just gives you those possible entries, you know, managing risk. It can relieve pretty nicely, at least above this wave 4 at 106.5, right? That would be your main first target. And you know, you're literally looking for a pretty much a bit of a sniper trade. Give it a bit of room here. This is your first target, and you have the potential of this recovering, you know, quite a lot. You have this potential of recovering quite a lot here, at least to get above, you know, these lower highs of today. So this is the risk to reward that you're literally looking at here. You know, which is, you know, it's pretty. And it's realistic when you consider Elliott wave theory. It's just a good entry. You don't need to risk the farm here. You don't want to risk the farm. You want to maintain risk. You want to risk 1% to maybe gain, you know, 3-4%. Right? That's how the game goes. This loss doesn't need to affect you. This win doesn't need to affect you. It's just a little bit more than your stop loss. But, you know, I know a lot of people like to go in big on the positions. So, yeah, we're currently back testing that low right there. We're still beneath that low. But, you know, when you look for very good entries, sometimes you just need to consider the double tops and the double bottoms, and you need to always know where there is a potential good double bottom or a good double top, because not every top or low is a good double top, right? This high right over here was not a good double top, because you got the bigger range highs right there for that top. So anyway, let's go through the comment section, see what the people are saying here, and say hello. Join the Legends community. Devil today absolutely crushed it in the Legends. Bearish short term, 98 to 92k, says Byron. I like it. I like it. It is the major zone, right? When we do zoom out, it is the major zone, right? That 98 to 92k zone. I would speculate that there is going to be a lot of buying interest down there, right? This would not be the moment to throw the towel after breaking that 50 weekly moving average. It's kind of those moments that you break the 50 weekly moving average, which everybody's really taking into consideration here for the end of the bull run, and you're coming into this very, very strong cluster of volume just below that higher low at 98k. This is a very, very interesting zone to see proof of support here on the higher time frame. It's muy interesante level. And you know, I think this is the ultimate level where you are going to see a lot of people talking about the 50. I've just gone on to X, guys. I like to have my morning coffee and go through X, bit of news, a bit of what's going on, okay, in the world of crypto, also, you know, in the world of finance. And man, I must have seen about at least 5 posts of different people talking about the 50 weekly moving average. And I'm like, wow, you know, there's a lot of people are taking this into consideration. Close a weekly candle below the 50 weekly moving average. That's it. That's going to be your sign, because it has been proving support throughout the entire bull run. So is that the level? You know what I think about moving averages, guys. You know, I'm not a moving average guy. I'm actually interested in seeing support here. And this, I would say that this could be a weekly wick to the upside if it comes all the way down here. It's just such a classic zone to get that epic bounce. Where did the price get rejected? Inside of this zone right over here. It was the point of control. You know, not when we take the entire range, but this range over here, without counting the new price action, the point of control is the one that got rejected. So these massive big ranges, such a huge high volume node, you know, fake outs beneath this zone is what we want to consider to, you know, to start seeing a bottom formation. Instead of this to the upside, right, where you hit the highs, and we very much understood that this breaking up was low probability. With the double 1-2, I think we were talking about, not interesting, you know, for a, you know, it did look like a 5 waver. So you're looking for a pullback, 5th wave topping out, 3rd wave here. I can't remember, but it was something in that game. And we got, you know, we got a very strong rejection from the highest volume node between July and you know, literally September. You know, a couple of months of a range. This is a multi-monthly, 5-6 month range. And man, this is a big level. I don't expect the price to move down here and break it successfully. At least on the first or even second attempt, obviously, for the double bottoms. So it is, like Byron is saying here, between 98 and 92k, a bit of volatility beneath this level is okay. But yeah, I'm not expecting a major breakdown there. So it's, for swing longs, it has to be the juiciest zone when we consider, you know, a multi-weekly swing long for a big recovery. Look no further. It's in between 98, 94k, right? 92, we can give a couple of $1,000 to the downside, add a bit of volatility. That's totally fine. But as Byron mentioned, okay, alt season, yes, I know, man. I know, we're all in the game, My altcoins look like, you know, it looks like I've taken all my money, put it down the toilet. I'm talking about altcoins because Bitcoin's obviously done it phenomenal for me. But when we consider altcoins, it looks like I've taken my money, I've put it in the toilet, I've taken a crap on top of the money and flushed it down the toilet. Literally, guys, right? Almost. It's unrealized losses, but you know, I do have a bunch of altcoins that just look, they're down the toilet, guys. Unless you bought Zcash, which has done absolutely phenomenal the last few weeks. My goodness. This privacy coin, guys, we got into the wrong altcoins. Look at this. Hey, this has done 10x in just a matter of 2-3 months. Man, wait, I'm happy with a 10x if I would have put $100,000. But yeah, look at this one, guys. There's the altcoin season. It's in Zcash. This started in August. Man, who was expecting this? I think privacy coins they are getting a bit of love. Got Dash as well, getting some upside momentum, getting a bit of a recovery. Monero, which is the king of privacy, that one's doing pretty damn good. I mean, yeah, this one's holding. This one's doing pretty okay in the last, you know, couple of years. Did get a nice recovery. It's not dumping too much. I do see Monero breaking up here and hitting well above $500. This is the absolute perfect cryptocurrency when we consider privacy. Monero, guys, it's the absolute king. And people, especially wealthy people, are interested in privacy. And, you know, I think this one's got a very bright future. It's not doing too bad. I've had this too, man. I did message Andy a couple of days ago to give heads up. Yeah, but I'm fine, guys. Regarding altcoins, you know, I do have a small percentage of portfolio on altcoins. You know, most of it is in Bitcoin. I got a big chunk in Ethereum and also Chainlink, which is still in about a 3x profit. But a lot of altcoins that I've dabbled into, such as I had a bit of Cadena, not much. Cadena went down the toilet. ICP got a dump, but it is recovering a little bit. I'm not down that much on ICP, maybe about 15%. Since the $5 range, it's just trading below $4 at the moment, so it's not too bad. If you were TradFi, knowing the global financial system is collapsing, you would want to get as much BTC as possible. You need to shake out retail first, get them to capitulate. Very true, Byron. Yeah, institutions are definitely paying big attention to Bitcoin, and inflation is not going away. Look at gold. Gold, what happened to Umbrella? Same as Umbrella. Umbrella went down the toilet, my man, but it was at 1% of my portfolio. Yeah, as Byron is saying here, Bitcoin is, we will see Bitcoin. If you are not older than 70, we will see Bitcoin, you know, at $500,000, even $1 million, give or take 4-6 years, maybe 2030-ish, maybe sooner, maybe a little later, but in that range. I would say well before 10 years we will see Bitcoin at $1 million. So that is a solid 10x from current prices, but it's going to take a bit of time, obviously, right? Market, Bitcoin is maturing, and we will see it at above 10-15 trillion dollars as in market cap, without a doubt. By the fear, says Mirarami. Yeah, absolutely. Do you still have funds in Mexi, Andy? I do not. I actually don't have. I have mainly on Bluffin, BTCC, bit on Bybit as well. But yeah, Mexi, I haven't traded on Mexi for a long time now. Maybe in 20 years, says Real. I don't think 20 years. It's going to be very likely soon before that. It is true that a big bear market before heading up to $1 million is very real eventually. Okay, depending on the financial system, how it crumbles, maybe 2026, maybe 2027, everything will go down, guys. Cash will be king, as it has always been in a recession. So this is the danger. Stop the show. Andy needs to get to 400 likes. Stop the show. We get to 400 likes. We're over 600 people. We can smash up that like button. We can do a better job than this, legends. Buy the fear spot, lol. Yeah, very true. Right now for leverage longs, unless you're unless you're a sniper. We mentioned the local double bottom is actually doing pretty okay. The double bottom locally is doing okay. Why did we consider local double bottom here? Is because of Elliot wave theory. The thing about this local double bottom has the potential to come down to this green box that I have here at 108k. Why? Because from the highs that were created yesterday on Sunday, we have a 3-wave move, even though the third wave is shallow. And here we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the 5th wave, when we study it very, very carefully, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, sometimes you just need to get in at the lows. Stop loss is super small. Relief pump. Elliot wave theory eventually is going to give you that edge when you consider trading setups, guys. Who got into the local double bottom? I mean, it did pump $1,000. That's good for a day trade. That's good for a day trade. Without a doubt, this is a take profit zone. You're claiming that lower high. Anybody that got into the double bottom, this lower high is inevitably a take profit. This is a scalp, guys. Could we go up to these levels? Absolutely, but you wanna be taking profits. We're downtrending. A bit of a sniper short here, but I'm not that incredibly interested in that short here. Even though it definitely could roll down eventually. But whoever got in, absolute legend on that double bottom. Just a little relief pump. It's a bit of a scalp trade here. We need to talk about scalping scenarios. People want to know about the setups. This stopping volume candle looks so promising. Yeah. It does. Short Zcash, yeah. This is probably building up an epic short. That's for sure. I think Zcash claimed the all-time high. Yeah, there it is. But wow, I mean, this is a difficult short. Let's say there's going to be lots of shorts entering here. I can tell you that, and this does have that potential to squeeze a few $100 more. Not gonna. If you're shorting with very low leverage, you're risking 1%. You didn't even swing failure pattern successfully here from this high. Not closing even a solid, daily candle. Yeah, not even a solid daily candle from that all-time high here. But man, it does look attractive. There's no doubt about it. Right? It's building up the most epic short, but stay cautious. This has really had a massive rocket, hitting the all-time high. Altcoin season was on Zcash, guys. We picked the wrong altcoins. But this is 10 altcoins out of thousands, right? That do this right now in the last couple of months. What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? 10x, solid 10x in 2 months, guys. Absolutely incredible. These are the coins that we want to be in. This is the altcoin season that we want to be in, right? We're gonna have to trade our way. Seems like the solution. I am in on the short. I got into that long, almost got stopped out. Absolutely monster. What a monster. 103 coming, I think. Zcash is still killing it. It is 98k this week. Very much a possibility. Let's talk about I would like to see a bit of a relief pump to consider a new short here. Whoever got into a short yesterday, Sunday, absolute legend on that double top. I missed it. I would have preferred this third wave to attempt a bit more of a breakout, and then I would have happily shorted later on. Even though if stop loss is here, I would realize that that's a fake out, but we got a very shallow one from the point of control. What I would be considering for a new short is at least getting above this green box at 108k. That would be the moment that I would consider looking for a new short. Looking for shorts down here, guys, is it's a bit suicidal. As explained, a local double bottom for a long to get into this relief rally was the option, as explained before in the stream. We could local double bottom just because we have 1, 2, 3 big volume. Forming a double bottom here locally is very, very common, and that local double bottom has the potential to get to 108k, guys. So that was the trigger right there. And for shorts, I have to say, I would at least want to see the price attempting to get above 108k, and that's purely considering Elliott wave theory here. I could roll from here, don't get me wrong, If you're long, this is already your TP1 protect position, but shorting down here on this bounce is too shallow of a bounce to consider a short, especially from the highs of Sunday, considering it's moved down in a 5-wave move. And if you move down in a 5-wave move, the most common area to get the relief pump is to the 4th wave. This is where it could be interesting to consider shorts, depending if you get lots of longs entering here. Swing failure pattern is aggressive, but yeah, I mean, it might not get up there. It might roll from here, but I'm just telling you, that's where I would be interested to consider a short. And it's purely based on Elliott wave theory. Here, it's a bit shallow. It's a bit shallow to get into the short, let's say that. Let's go right away through the comment section and say hello to the rest of the people, the community, anybody that is interested in trading. Maybe some of you did get into that double bottom. Nice little scalp, nice little move of $1,000. You can be defensive, protective on that long that was mentioned throughout the stream. Local double bottom to claim those lower highs. First target, I would take most of profit, 50%. Leave a bit open, got a good entry. Target this area, could be an option, 108k plus. And shorting right now, I mean, it's that you're just claiming that dead cat bounce high. You know, the reason I don't like this short, even though it could roll over, is purely based on how we've moved down here since yesterday. So when you do have this potentially being an impulse, and then there's the bounce 3-wave structure, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, man. And like I said, this could be developing still the 3rd wave, just because we have increasing volume. This is why it's I am talking about this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's not common to see the highest amount of volume on the 5th wave, which obviously means the risks that there are for this being the 5th wave and getting that relief pump to 108k, because maybe the 3rd wave is still getting developed. And this ends up being, you know, in a nutshell, just so you understand, if you have increasing volume on the 5th wave locally here, maybe this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all of this is your 3rd wave. That's the problem that you have with increasing volume in the potential 5th wave. It gives you the risk of maybe the 3rd wave isn't finished yet and you're not looking at the 5th wave, right? So you always consider that when you have increasing volume on a 5th wave. Decreasing volume on the 5th wave, game on. I would be a little bit more confident that this local double bottom does get up to 108k. Still can be. You just need to be aware that the 3rd wave still is getting developed here. So is there any chance for the price recovering? Is there any chance for the price to recover very aggressively from here and absolutely moon? Is it possible that we are faking out from this trend line higher low support on the futures exchanges? And it's a trap. It's a bear trap. As explained, the bullish case scenario does not look good. When we look at Elliott wave theory, the bearish case scenario, which is this one, you have a 5-wave move to the downside, corrective structure in a WXY, 3-wave structure, bear flag if you wish, looks a little bit better. The bullish case is this one right over here, as explained for any new subscribers. I mean, you could say that that's the C wave. You could technically say that you've either 1, 2, 3. That's your fourth wave, and this is your fifth wave. Now, that's being very optimistic, guys. Very, very optimistic. This is like looking for something that almost doesn't even exist when we consider Elliott wave theory. Expanding diagonal to the upside. ABC flat. You're really stretching here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in your C wave. Your fourth wave is a bit long. I would still consider it in the timing zone. And this is your last level. It's like the last level to get an ultimate recovery in the next coming days. Well, I mean, this is why if you're long down here, it's worth the speculation. Take some profits, but worth the speculation just on the entry point, which is so good. You've taken TP1 and you just put your stop loss right at entry here. You're just not even worth the risk. You know, this was the scenario. You could extend to 108k. I would put stop to break even. You know, the bears are winning. The bears are winning. This is like ultimately giving the absolute hopium here, but you can trade this successfully. You can be defensive. You got a good entry. If this comes to fruition, then hey guys, you know, this was, you know, if we are pumping to 108 and 110k in the next couple of days, that was the low, guys. Whoever entered here is going to be very happy in the next coming days, right? A little bit of wishful thinking, but technically it is possible. You know, your hard invalidation is literally claiming 103.6k low. That is your hard invalidation to absolutely eliminate here the bearish the bullish case, right? Man, it just looks horrible. It's like looking for something that almost doesn't exist here. It looks bad, but sometimes the things that look bad are the ones that play out. Much love to everybody. Thanks for joining today's stream and smashing up the like button. Right game, wrong trades. If we don't put high after high between November and December, the 4-year cycle theory is down the toilet. Q4 must end up being bullish, otherwise it will be worrying. I know, guys. I know a lot of people, you know, Q4 for the moment, it looks like a big crap down the toilet, guys, right? It does not look, we've been sold the expectations, right? Especially from lots of channels, right? Lots of channels on YouTube, guys. I hope you played the defensive game. We were aware, I mean, I've been bullish as well, but we were aware of, on the higher time frame, we were aware, guys. Just being aware of the scenarios as we talk bullish and bearish case. Being aware makes you defensive about this drop to 107k. We were aware of it, and this is a moment that you don't want to play around with your altcoins and do silly leverage expecting the, you know, Pumptober, October, Pump November, whatever they say, right? Because yeah, people got destroyed in October. I got stopped out. Portfolio's a little bit in the red. I mean, a little bit of in the red in the last few weeks. In the last few years, it is well in the green, guys. We're just talking short term here. Remember, I've been in crypto since 2018, and you know, I've actually been selling some Bitcoin in this zone, not buying. So you need to play the game. Much love, Wes. Heading down. Are we heading south? Local double bottom. Let's see what it does. But if it, you know, we know the risks, guys. Just to let you know, increasing volume in this little downtrend is not good. It's not a good sign. Yes, it could recover. As explained, your best shot. This is the decision moment. I'm not sure what I was talking about. We were talking about something here, but your best shot was the local double bottom to get in. I would not long here right now where we at currently. Anyway, legends, much love to everybody. Thank you very much for joining. As you can see, Staffer1 here with the link of Bluffin. 15% cashback, guys, here down in the comment section. Take advantage of those bonuses. Bluffin, 15% cashback. BTCC has up to $10,000 in rewards. You can trade stock market and gold on BTCC. You can trade gold also on Bluffin, guys. Take advantage. You just need an email and a password. Sign up right away and, you know, trade responsibly. Much love to everybody. Trade safe. We'll be back tomorrow. Let's see where the price is. If we do break down, I'm not too interested in any longs in this area, guys. If we get back down below here, we want to be very, very cautious. We want to see the price forming a range. If it nukes down to the low 100k levels, we're going to have to remain a bit patient. If we get down to 98k, I would be getting ready for some swing longs. So yeah, much love. Thank you for joining. Smash up the like button on your way out, and I will see you tomorrow.